Hello everyone, hello, how are you doing today? Hope you're having a lovely day. Chocolo Roberto here for a very special one. It's the, well, lunchbox favourite special, I guess. Yeah, basically the sort of treats you would have back at school typically in your lunchbox. Now you can see, you put in an example in the thumbnail of a sort of lunchbox I'm talking about. Of course, I don't know if they're still around these days. I had a look online, they don't seem to be. I think you just get normal plastic containers nowadays. But when I was a kid, you used to get these sort of, as you can see in the top left corner there, these kind of like lunchbox affairs that were kind of usually branded of some kind of cartoon at the time, and you had like a little flask in there as well, which had the lid doubled as a cup as well. So they're quite interesting. I don't know if they have them anymore. They sort of churn them out with loads of different types: Transformers, Care Bears, My Little Pony, Thundercats. There was one of every, and he just changed the picture on the front basically. But great stuff. They were really good. And so I don't know if they're a thing anymore. I'm not sure if they are anyway, but interesting. And hi there, Joe. How's it going for you today? Yes, you might be having lunch. You might not hear this. But yeah, hope you're having a lovely day. Such a beautiful Saturday. It was nice weather in the UK, but it's turned a bit sort of colder now. But that's good for me, good for chocolate basically, but that's not for everyone else. But yeah, and thanks so much, Joe. Yes, don't forget to press the like button, everyone. That'd be really massively appreciated. Massively appreciated, it really would be. But yeah, hope you're doing all right, Joe. Hope you're doing okay and enjoying your lunch. Yes, we've got quite a few chocolates. As I say, these are ones I kind of possibly have reviewed on the channel before, but maybe some time ago, really. And I thought, you know what, it'd be nice to just go over them again. It's one of those where sometimes I kind of like to do my reviews that they'll be sort of more searchable themselves, you know, rather than part of like another review or something. But it's hard to find that balance. I like to do things a bit different. It's nice to have a bit of variety as well. So obviously for people who are very into the channel, this kind of content's a bit different than normal reviews and something a bit more interesting, as I say, than normal. So it just sort of varies a bit, you know, gives something a bit different. So there are some classic things. You can probably hear the rustle of stuff going on, but you'll probably have a guess of some things I'm going to come out with. Oh, the sun's, hi, hey B, by the way, good to see you. The sun's gone for you as well. Hopefully back tomorrow. Yeah, is it likely to come back? I don't know. It's meant to be thunderstorms now apparently. So at least where I am anyway. So yeah, we'll see. Interesting. Yeah, but yeah, the weather in the UK. We've had 3 days of summer. I think maybe 2, possibly 3, as I say. So that's probably about it for us really. But yeah, so there we go. Hope everything's going okay. It's good to see you back as well. As I say, glad you're managing to stay at it. So it's really good to see you, and I'm glad you're doing okay. So I've got quite a few classics. Now I'll start with the ultimate classic, I think. So I'm going to be careful how I handle these because even though it's a bit cold outside, my house has kept the warmth to an extent. So we might have a bit of meltage going on today, but I just have to hold things a bit carefully, a bit gingerly. So yeah, we might, you might notice me doing that. Okay, the first one's, well, of course, got the Kitkats, haven't we? Sustainably sourced cocoa, as I always say, I would always look into that if it matters to you, just what sustainably means, because there's various levels of it, and of course, just what's sustainable to one person is sustainable to others. I'll cite an example just to show you. Basically, if you replant trees, for instance, you think, oh, that's great, you're replanting the rainforest and stuff like that, they're chopping down for wood and things like that. But the gist of it is A, sometimes they don't plant indigenous trees, so it's actually different trees that actually have an adverse effect on the environment. And a lot of the percentages-wise, a lot of them die as well, apparently, when I was looking at a documentary on it. Can't remember the percentages, but a lot of them don't survive very long. And if they do, do they stay around long enough to get the holes and the various things that birds and other animals nest in that the other trees would have had? Probably not, because they take a long time for that to happen. So that's just an example of replanting trees. So you can imagine something that's sustainably sourced, maybe for tree felling or something like that. Doesn't necessarily mean it's good for the environment. And it's probably the same with this kind of thing as well. So I'd always check into it. Very complicated thing. But presumably it's better than nothing. But you could argue that maybe not growing the cocoa in the first place would be the best bet. So, you know, there is obviously factors in there that are quite complicated. All right, so we've got Kitkats here. So you can see here, I think it's an 8. Is it? How many is in it? 4 times. So there's 4 times 2. Oh, it's a bigger bar, actually. I didn't realise that. So it's the bigger ones, these ones. Normally you get them 2 fingers. So it's essentially 8 bars, this one, isn't it? Usually it's 2 fingers, but there's 4 fingers per bar in this one. So a bit of a larger one, for instance. I don't think you used to be able to buy the large. I mean, I'm sure the large ones are quite rare when I was younger. I remember it always used to be in just a 2-fingered bar when I was younger. You know, so interesting one. Yeah, so anyway, so I have seen where there've been 8 2-fingered bars in them, so I don't know whether they've I've seen all sorts of different sizes of Kitkats over the years, where they have 8 and 9 and 7 and 6 and 10. They seem to just randomly change it, and I don't know, so I'm not sure what to make of it at all really. But there are some flourishes here, and you can see there's probably an extra 2 fingers you could fit in at least from that. Alright, so what have we got calorie wise? Let's have a look. So per 100 grams, 502 calories, so on the lower end of the 500 to 550 that chocolate bars tend to have from my experience of doing this channel. 24.5 grams of fat, 13.5 which are saturates, and then per bar, which I believe is 4 fingers. Okay, so 209 calories. 10.2 grams of fat, 5.6 of which are saturates. So the typical one, which is 2 fingers, is presumably 104.5 calories. 5.1 grams of fat. What's that? 2.8 of which are saturates. Yeah. So getting stuff like this, got palm fat in there. And also interest, Rainforest Alliance certified cocoa. So even though, yeah, you see, so it's got the Rainforest Alliance cocoa, but it's got palm in it. So you know what I mean. So as I say, there's some there. I would definitely look into these things. What have we got there? I like that. If you focus in on it, I think it's got like a K for Kit Kat put into something in the bin. It's quite like the way some of them do. Like most M&M's, for instance, have an M&M's person put it in the bin. This Kit Kat has that in, for instance. Stood vegetarians. There's the weightage there. 166 grams, 4 times 41.5. Okay, so I'll give this an open and shower. So we're all familiar with Kit Kats. This is a classic review, as I say. So it is going to be sort of, I think most people are liking it. But if you haven't, I mean, obviously don't worry about it if you're not. This review's perfectly for you then, I guess. But it's also looking at the classic stuff. So when I was younger, as I was saying, you'd have these sort of lunchbox affairs like that one in the top left. And basically, you'd always have like a sandwich, sandwiches in there, probably, I don't know, jam butties or whatever. And then and then have one of these, like a Kit Kat, something for afters, basically. You wouldn't have a 4-fingered bar there, to be honest with you. I didn't realise it was a 4-fingered one when I got it. You'd have a 2. Especially one was very, I don't know, what's the word? Generous. There you go. Multi-pack, not for resale. Okay. So who's that? It's very, very yellow, that. We can still get the gist of what Kit Kat is. Does say normally it'd be 2 fingers. As I say, I don't think I'd ever have 4-finger one in a lunchbox. Nowadays I would definitely, but there we go. So we got the Kit Kat here. So I guess they're going to be gingerly. We're going to handle it gingerly. There we go. You can see here, nice smell coming from it, which I seem to think is from the new sort of cocoa these. I'm sure it didn't used to have this sort of smell, but it's definitely a sort of Nestle milk chocolate smell for sure. So you can see here, this is basically what it is. Snap a couple of Kit Kats. So you can see there as well, my fingerprints are kind of going in it, so I'll have to be careful. There we go. Hashtag my break. That's definitely a new thing, I think. I don't think that was around when I was younger. There we go. Alright, so you can see there, look, bit of a chocolate action coming off. So I have to be careful. I do have a cloth to hand, so we'll wipe my hands, so we should be okay, fingers crossed. But we'll just have to be careful with that. I was at the point where I'm thinking, well, should I go ahead with the live or should I do a biscuit special or something because of all this stuff? And it was a difficult one. But yeah, I think, let's move that down a bit. Covering a bit too much of my face. I try moving the camera up a bit, but then it moves down again. It has sort of like clever technology in it, so it actually focuses back down again to put me in the middle. So you can't win, basically. Let's do something extreme, but there we go. All right, well, anyway, we'll bear with it. Yeah, so as I say, we've got, this is what a regular Kit Kat would look like. It'd be the 2-finger type. As I say, I've snapped this one off, but it would basically look exactly the same, as we all know, I'm sure. And let's give it a bit of a measure and show it. I don't think Kit Kats have ever shrank. They might have done, but I don't think they would have done. See here, the width of it, length. Of course, we can track that, I guess, from now on. About 9.1 centimetres. And height. It's going to be a bit difficult to measure the width of this one because it's a 4-fingered one, 9.7. But, we'll do it all the same. And the width, roughly, I say this is rough because it's a 4-fingered bar snapped in half, 3.1. There we go. Oh, hi there, Jen. How's it going for you today? Oh, great to see you. Great to see you. Oh, how are you doing? Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're feeling okay. Oh, yes. But how's the weather where you are, by the way? Is it nice or is it gone back to being a bit dismal? Just saying to Jow before, it's very, I don't know, cloudy now. I think it's going to thunderstorm soon, I think. But good to see you, Jen. Glad to see you back. Getting a good following again recently because AB's come back after a bit of a hiatus and you've come back after a bit of a hiatus as well. So it's great to see you all back. And Jow made it on time today. In fact, he was too early today. So okay. All right, so good stuff. Yeah, so I'll give this a snap. I might close the bottom one a bit. Let's have a see. Let's say I'm handling this with care today. So I'll say normally with a Kit Kat, it would come in a foil wrapper, and you can run your finger down the centre to break the foil and then snap it. There we go. And you can also use these as a straw as well, by the way, which is a really good thing for chocolate drinks. Coffees or hot chocolates. If you nibble off both ends, it just acts as a perfect straw almost. Well, not perfect straw, but it acts as a very good straw. And you can use it for your coffee, and it melts all the inside as well. Really makes it nice and soft. It can be a bit messy, but it's well worth trying. And Kit Kat Junkies it works with as well. So very definitely a good hint, that one. A bit of a. I'll definitely try it. If you've not tried it before, definitely try it. What I did learn as well is the cocoa centre of the Kit Kat is actually offcuts of Kit Kat. So I don't know which came first. Clearly they must have had something to fill it originally, but yeah. So basically that's the case. Just if I can get it to focus perfectly, I can't quite. Sometimes I put my finger there, it'll focus a bit. Okay, there you go. So you can see there's those like mini cocoa layers and then the wafer. Yeah, it's not too bad. Yes. Yes, very overcast and very chilly. Yeah, it was very warm in my house actually. So I was thinking it was still warm outside, but when I went outside, it was a bit nippy. So the heater my house will take a couple of days to actually go back to normal, I think. Yeah, just resting. Yeah, me too. Well, I'm trying to cut down on all the food now. I've been eating a bit too much recently, so I need to start. Yeah. So from Monday, I think I'm just going to say, right, that's it. I had Kitkats as a kid in America. I love putting them in the freezer before having them though. Yeah, I think a lot of chocolate tastes nice frozen. Well, yeah, sometimes frozen. Chilled, I sometimes prefer it chilled, but frozen as well, definitely a thing. And I think, of course, we were saying about what was it last week? It was the Kinder Cards. It was. I thought they were really nice chilled actually. Guy F&B in the comments was saying how he has them frozen. I thought they were a bit too tough frozen for me, a bit too. But when chilled, I thought it really brought out the cream centre in it. It really works. So you can bring out the flavours a lot more when frozen or chilling these products actually. So it's good advice, that one. Yeah, so I would say it rarely tastes worse when chilled or frozen, I think, is most of these chocolate bars. So yeah, good advice, that. But I never heard of it before doing this channel. I think most of the people saying, a lot of people in the comments were saying, oh, have this chilled and stuff like that. And I don't think I'd ever really done it other than kind of by accident where things were bought in from a vending machine, and it chills them, of course, because they get too hot otherwise. So things like Mars bars, I definitely, and Snickers as well, definitely taste very nice chilled, I'd say. So good advice there, Jen. Right, okay, let's give this one a taste. This has got, I guess half a finger, so let's give it a go. Now, I did do a comparison a few years back when they replaced the, I think it was the cocoa amount or the milk amount or whatever they did in Kit Kats, and it didn't taste as good actually, but I've got used to them over the years. I think it's just Nestle milk chocolate, it's a bit of a funny one. But Kit Kats, it tends to just about work because of a nice sort of wafer centre. And it is a good bar actually, Kit Kat, has to be said. I do like it. Even though it's quite a thin chocolate, it's very distinct and it just works so well with the wafer actually. And I think having those little cocoa or offcuts of Kit Kat that are pulverised or whatever to go into the middle, it just adds. It just all seems to work. I don't know. It's definitely better than some of its parts. I wish the Nestle milk chocolate was better. But it's a funny one, Nestle milk chocolate. As I say, I quite like Kit Kat Chunkies. I quite like Kit Kats. Even though the milk chocolate's not the best, sometimes it just seems to work. And an example of this, as I say, is Kit Kats and Yorkies as well for some reason. They're so big and chunky. And they're another one that's really good chilled as well because it makes them have even more of a bite to them when you bite into this box of chocolate. But things like Vice Versa, for instance, when they used to be around, where it's basically like a little sugar-coated disc of chocolate, and if it's coated like a brown on the outside, it'd be white chocolate on the inside, and vice versa, hence the name. And the white chocolate ones are always a lot nicer because Nestle white chocolate is pretty much top tier. But even though I'm not a big white chocolate fan, I used to prefer the white ones to the milk chocolate ones because they were just not as good. But digressing a bit there, basically what I'm trying to say is it works pretty well in Kit Kats. Even though the milk chocolate's not the best, it seems to work pretty well. And like the crunch, I much prefer Kit Kat Chunkies. I think they're just, I don't know, something, I say, just more substantial about them. But I do like Kit Kats. And they do seem to keep the brands quite different as well. So you get different flavours in regular Kit Kats and you do in Kit Kat Chunkies and vice versa. So you can get white chocolate ones, these dark chocolate mint, you get orange ones as well. There's quite a few different kinds. I think generally I do quite do some weird limited editions as well, like Lemon Drizzle I did a few years back. I do think I tend to just quite like the regular ones though. I think they are very nice. Now, is it an average chocolate? I don't know. Would you say Kit Kat's an average chocolate? I'm trying to think. It's very difficult to rate chocolate because all chocolate tastes nice generally, so it does make it difficult. So the average chocolate I tend to say is 3. A Kit Kat I don't think is massively above an average chocolate because there's not loads going on there, but it seems, as I say, it does work better than some of its parts. There's just something good about it. I say that crunch, that wafer scent. I do like crunchy wafery bits and biscuit pieces in my chocolate as well, and I think, as I say, with a Kit Kat it does work very well. So I think for me, yeah, I think it's a good old 4 out of 5. You know, I think it's not going to blow your socks off, but it just does what it does, and it does it very well, and it's really nice. And you get lots of different kinds as well. Got a lovely crunch to it. The chocolate's not the best, but it just seems to work with the wafer. As I say, Nestle seem to pull that off sometimes with their not great milk chocolate, but they just seem to get away with it somehow. I don't know, like with the Smarties as well, things like this. Even because the Smarties have got flavours in the colours, you know, it seems to seep into the chocolate a bit. Whether that's just appearance or not, I don't know as well, just fooling your brain by seeing the colours. But the Kitkat's similar, as I say, got a lovely crunch to it, it's a nice one, it's a classic, and it just works as well. And it's a nice experience to have the Kitkat, to snap it in half. And if you've got the foil on it as well, just as I say, to run your finger down between the fingers and snap it, as I used to do on the old adverts. It's a nice experience, which, I don't know, is perhaps quite a simple thing. Maybe say simple things, you know, appease simple minds or whatever, but but for me, it's a nice experience, and I do quite like that. I think there's something to be said about that for sure. So 4 out of 5 for me. I don't think it's any higher than that for sure. I think that's pretty much as high as it will go, really. But a nice one without some extra flavours or extra shenanigans going on, like the peanut butter ones did a few years back. Yeah, they were nice. Right, so next one. Well, as I say, some of these, you know what? Let's go straight to this one, because this is one that was definitely a classic when I was younger, and it's definitely changed a lot since then. I'm sure of it. And it's not just me growing older. Yeah, it's a good old club. Yes, Jacob's Club it used to be when I was younger. It's McVitie's now. I don't know if they own Jacob's or whatever. I don't know why that was, but I'm sure it's Jacob's Club at the time. Orange flavour as well. Got to be the orange one. There is a mint one. There's been various ones. There's a fruit one which is purple. There's new salted caramel one. There was a blue one which was double chocolate, and there was a yellow one which I think was honeycomb or something like that. But yeah, the orange one for me is always the one. It's the best one. Yeah, definitely the best one. So here we go. McVitie's Club. Always a lovely one. So, yeah, if you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club used to be the old saying. I don't even know if they do adverts for clubs anymore. But basically, in recent years, I had noticed that they don't do as much chocolate on it. When I was young, and of course my mouth was smaller then, I used to be able to nibble around the edge of the chocolate. I used to literally be able to nibble around it, because it's basically a sort of biscuit centre covered in chocolate. In fact, I might have a description on it. I assume it would. Let's just see if we can find it. Probably not a very glamorous description, but it should have one all the same. There we go. Milk chocolate covered crunchy biscuit with an orange flavoured cream. There we are. Yeah, so as I say, that milk chocolate used to be really thick around a club. Now, from memory anyway, things are always, you know, it's rose tinted specs and stuff like that. But you know, we'll see if I can still even remotely nibble around the edge of these clubs. Last time I tried, you definitely couldn't. There's some calorie information here. So 400 grams, 509 calories. So on the lower end of the 500 to 550. It's probably because it's more biscuit than anything else, but 26.2 grams of fat, 16.2 of which are saturates. Anything interesting here? Milk chocolate, 49%. It's got palm fat in there. You can see palm there, so bear that in mind as well. A lot of things. Natural orange flavouring. Some other stuff as well. Paprika extract. Okay, don't recycle in curbside collection. If anyone's got any idea why you recycle at the supermarket rather than curbside collection, please let me know, because I don't understand that. Super vegetarians. 7 times 22 gram bars, 154 in total. Anything else of interest? Nothing else. So quite a nice minimalist look to it. I quite like the look of this. As I said, all the flavours. I know some people like the mint ones, but for me the orange ones are always the best. I could actually, at one point, I remember I could unwrap it and actually eat the chocolate out of it and then put it perfectly back as if it not been unwrapped. I remember doing that work. One of the jobs I used to work at about quite a long time, about 20 years ago almost now. This just used to be a thing I used to do. And you could make a Batmobile out of an old Skittles carton as well, which I used to do. Oh dear, things, yeah, anyway. Simple things, simple minds, that's what they say, as I say. Alright, let's have a see. Okay, so we've got it down here as well, my old trusty camera down here. Just give it a bit of an open then. Okay, let's, I can open it, I can't open it. Try not to rip it open. I try to keep the wrappers, and I send them off to someone who collects them, so that's why I try not to rip the wrappers sometimes, but sometimes, unfortunately, you just can't get into them. There we go, alright, there we are. Okay. So you can see there, I think there was 7 in total, wasn't there? So I'll just take one out. It's quite closely packed together, which I think is good. There was a bit of a flourish, but nothing too dramatic. Quite like that. And there's a nice orange smell coming from these as well. Yeah, not bad at all. Okay, so put them down there a bit. Hi Andrew, how's it going? Good to see you, Andrew. Good to see you. Used to be Jacob's branded and still are in Ireland. Ah, okay, I didn't know that. Jacob's and McVitie's are now owned by a Turkish company called Yıldız. I see. Also products, Movities and Savouries are Jakey's. Okay, right, so they're all, right, so it's one of those, is it? Yeah, I see. But yes, good to see you, yes. But yeah, I would explain. It's a shame, I used to prefer the name Jake. I mean, it's just one of those, but there we go. We'll be interested what the original ingredients were in the beginning to compare what they are today. Yes, it's probably is possible to do that if someone's got the, I know some people do, I think there's like a vintage sweet wrapper Instagram account or something like that might have that kind of thing. But yeah, it will be interesting because it's hard to, it's quite difficult, isn't it, sometimes to compare what was and what is, because you always tend to, remember things in extremes, like, you really like something or you really didn't or whatever. And yeah, so it's difficult. It is difficult. So I'll say, I think to get this out, what I used to do is I used to slide this out. So you can actually slide, you can see, so you can keep that out there. So I've not actually unsealed this bit. And then basically you could just take out the the club and repackage it again. I've not done this for years, so I'm not as good as I used to be. I'm not as dexterous as I used to be even. I can't remember how to. I can't reseal the thing at the end now. But basically, imagine if I was able to do that in however way I did it. You just sort of slide it back in, and you basically have a resealed, perfect looking club. But it's quite difficult. You need, I'd say, better dexterity than I've got these days, and obviously less pressure than doing it live. But there you go. You get the gist of it. It's gone back in. I've not sealed the bit at the end. I can't remember. I wasn't watching when I did it. I didn't expect it to go so well, but there you go. You've got a perfect club there, back again. Obviously, if you just sort the end out. There you are, you see. Yep, so it's possible. Yes. There we go, the classics. I'm sure chocolate clubs used to be thick. Yeah, it definitely was, because you used to be able to nibble around the edge. I mean, definitely. I'm sure of it. I won't bet my house on anything like that, but I mean, we'll look in this in a second, but I had them at school. I'm not that old. They were quite a bit thicker back in the day. Yeah, things definitely. Yeah, they definitely don't make things bigger, do they? That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know if there's any examples anyone knows of something actually getting bigger with time. You have to let me know. But okay, so there you go. You've got a club there. And as I say, I'm gingerly holding this because it's very melty today. But there you go. There we are. Yes, not too bad. All right, let's give it a bit of a measurement, shall we? As I say, it's a bit. Put the studio lights on and things like this, and the house is relatively warm stuff and all the hot weather. So as I say, so I do apologise if you see lots of melty fingers, but it's not doing too bad. Not doing too bad. All right, let's give a bit of a measure then at the bottom. Have to be careful because it's soft as well. Oop. Okay, there you go. So about 9 centimeters roughly in diameter. Trying to be ginger with it, but yeah, about 8.9. Again, the height. So we'll look at the chocolate thickness in a second. So height is about 1.2. Width at the bottom 2.7, but width at the top, roughly, it's very roughly because I can't quite get it perfect, about 2.3, 2.4. Okay, yeah, so there we go. Interesting, that one, yes. Yes. Joe, you're back. Great to see you back, Joe. Great to see you. How was your lunch? What did you have? Anything, usually something healthy or very different that you have. Yeah, so let me know. Chocolate is thicker on one end and on the other with clubs. It's usually the side you can't see biscuit through, which has the thicker chocolate. Yeah, I see. Okay, yes, the top bit you mean. Yeah, sort of, yeah. I get what you mean, yes. Yes. Taxi, well, that's true. Oh, there was a bar called a taxi, actually, so for just a brief second, I thought you were meaning that, but yeah. But you're right, that is one thing, that's true. Unfortunately, it's not, as I say, unfortunately not chocolate related, unless it's a tax on chocolate, of course. But yeah. All right, so let's, tell you what, I'll put the other camera back on because I keep going to reference it and it's not there. So let's just, all right, so let's give it a snap. Okay, there we go. So yeah, you can see the chocolate on the right side, left side as you're looking at it, is a bit thicker actually. I did used to nib it off on both sides. I don't feel like you could do that. You can see a bit of a chocolate orange cream in the, is it the top or the centre? Is it the top? It's that nice biscuit there. It's got that sort of typical biscuit look to it. You can see a bit of an orange cream there as well. It's exacerbated a bit more in the bottom picture. You can definitely see like an orange cream on the top. At least I believe that's a bit of cream, unless that's just when the biscuit's been baked. I think it probably is actually. I think the orange cream is above that. We can see the chocolate on the top and the bottom is quite thin, and it's only thick on one side. I'm not sure you could nibble that off and really not, So yeah. Yes. The end bits. Yeah, yes. It's one of those. I know. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. It's one of those. We'll have a look into it in a second. But yes, I think. Yeah, I think I do know what you mean. Yes, like the sort of bits at that side. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yes, but it used to be around the edges. I used to nibble all around the edges. You know, like on the sides. You know, we had some chicken thighs and salad. Delicious always are. Very good. Yes, and a lot healthy as well. A lot healthier than just filled with chocolate. Didn't have any peanut butter with it though, Jam. I'm so disappointed there. All right, let's give it a taste then. We'll try doing a bit of nibble action as well, but let's give it a bit of a go. So I'll do a side on nibble as well. Let's say there's no way you could nibble that chocolate though. I'll try this side. I'll try nibbling this side just to see, but to be fair, it did come off a bit actually. That side, it was nibbleable. Yeah, it was nibbleable actually. At least so I could do it on that side a bit. It did come off, and it's quite thick there, like Andrew was saying there at the end. So maybe it's not as bad as I thought. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought. This is quite thick there at the end, so let's see. Yeah, it is possible then. So maybe I was wrong. It's definitely thinner on one side, but yeah, it's possible. Let's give it a whole taste as a whole then, see what it's there. Nice crunch to it as well. I would say the chocolate doesn't taste overly amazing, but not too bad actually. It's got a nice crunch to it, a nice subtle orange taste. It's obviously an orange cream, so it's quite interesting. It's not too bad actually, and it's quite a nice way I could nibble off the edge as well. It's better than I thought it would be. As I say, when I've seen it previously, I'm sure it's just do not look possible, but I don't believe I ever gave it much of a try. Yes, I'm not too bad, thanks, Joe. Not too bad. The weather was pretty good in the UK for a couple of days, and it's gone back to normal now. But I'm doing okay, thank you. I was been a bit tired this week, so it's good to get to the weekend, has to be said. Yeah, how about you, Joe? Is everything going okay for you? And how's everyone else today, by the way? I really hope everyone's doing okay. Good to see you all as well, as always. How do you do a biscuit chocolate bar? Looks like how clubs used to look. I've seen all photos of them online. And they do have thick chocolate. We have chocolate cream in, not orange flavour. Okay, interesting. Maybe I'll give them a go at some point, Andrew. It does sound an interesting one, that. Especially if they were like they used to be. I do remember, I can't quite recall off the top of my head the look of them. But I do I'd know it if I saw it, if that makes sense. Yeah, but it's not quite the same cream. Yeah, see. Yes. That's the thick end, check the other one, yeah. Let's see, I'll do a bit of a sideways now. What did I do? Yeah. Yeah, the other one's not quite so thick. Yeah. So it's not consistent, unfortunately, but it did get a bit of thickness on there. So it wasn't too bad. I think, it's got something there, at least. But whether it's as thick as it used to be, I doubt it. But nonetheless, I could get a bit of a nibblage going on there. So, not too bad. So it's quite nice. It's quite a nice bar, actually. I do quite like clubs. They're quite refreshing. The orange one especially, I do really quite like that. I think it's got a nice, good crunch to the biscuit. I think the chocolate's probably not the best chocolate ever, but, it's perfectly fine. And those biscuit centres are always nice in these sort of biscuit, sandwich box biscuit type bars, I guess. I don't really know what the proper name for them. I've always called them that anyway. I think it works pretty well. Right, I do always have a soft spot for clubs. I don't think they're the same bar they used to be. I certainly don't. I think that's the case with many bars, most bars really. But the orange is quite a nice subtle flavour. It was a bit, when I've had it previously, it felt a bit too much like an orange cream. But this time it's been a bit more gentle, a bit more subtle. And so maybe again, I was just sort of, I don't know, not quite remembering it quite as well as I thought. A bit disappointed. But it's not been too bad. I think for me, it's not bad actually. Again, I think it's a classic. I think it's, again, probably not as good as it was. But I think it's still, for all intents and purposes, a nice bar really, and it's hard to sort of really hold it too much against it. And as I say, there is still room for nibblage on there. It's just not quite as thick all the way around. I'm sure it's not as thick as it used to be. As I say, I did have a small mouth when I was younger, of course. Maybe I could get more out of it, but I don't know. But it's still nice. I like the orange flavour. I like the biscuit. I think it's a nice crunch, and the chocolate complements it all well. Again, I think it's not going to blow your socks off, but I think it's a good, solid, 4 out of 5 again. So it's another one. I think, as I say, maybe rating all these 4, maybe they should be 3, but I think, I don't know. I think they've got something about them again. I think the average one probably wouldn't have a flavour to it. Perhaps wouldn't quite have the different kinds of you know, you would have a bit of less of a taste, less of an experience really for it to be a 3 out of 5. You just received 4.4 pounds of creamy peanut butter. You only get them on sale, crikey. I see, we make up for it. Yes, that's goodness me. Well, I'd keep you. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, wow. Well, you certainly make the most of it, Jow. So there's always a thick end and a thin end with a club. Yeah, I always start with that thick end if I can tell which one it is. Yeah, maybe that was how it always was. I mean, I must admit it's been a long time, but I'm quite sure they used to be quite thick. It used to be really touted having thick chocolate. I mean, that was the thing. You know, the advertising campaign and stuff like that. You know, if you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, as I say, it's just not. Yeah. So I don't know. It doesn't. You don't get that feeling of having a lot of chocolate on it anymore. But nonetheless, like you said, there is some scope there. So it's not as bad as I thought. McVitie's Trios, yeah, they used to be one back in the day. They're still around. I didn't see them today. They did bring them back, didn't they, for a time? Thicker than chocolate in clubs these days, which is weird, but Trios are very nice. Yeah, I don't mind them actually. I don't mind them. Yeah, not too bad either, really. Kind of what's the thing with Trios? What's the flavouring in that? I can't quite recall now. There's a flavouring with it. Something a bit different, but yeah. It's one of those. Right, okay. Yeah, it's an interesting one, that one. As I say, clubs of a variety of flavours. My favourite is the orange, but I guess, you know, some people do like the mint one. I must admit, I know Scotty's a big fan of mint. Are you a fan of mint, Andrew? I seem to think maybe you are. Not sure, really. But a white chocolate club. Now, imagine that, a white chocolate orange club. Now, that'd be something I'd be interested in for sure. Yeah, I don't think they've ever done that, but that would be really quite interesting. I don't think they ever will do that, but here we go. Yeah, there you go, Joe. Do you have peanut butter, jam or jelly? Yes, I see. Yes, of course. Yeah, the old terminology there. Jam, of course, being the UK jam, jelly being the... yeah, I don't know, would he work with actually jelly as in the wobbly stuff? I wonder. Maybe it would. Cheers, Biscuit. Toffee, that was it. Toffee, yes, that was it. Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, I couldn't recall what it was. Yeah. Yeah, there were another one. I said the ones when I was young used to be taxis, 5 4 3 2 1s, trios, breakaways, clubs, Kitkats, penguins, of course, United bars, which aren't around anymore. Blue ribbons have always been around. One of them. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, you posted a picture of 2011. Let's have a look then. You can tell the chocolate was thicker even then. You can check it later because it's all right. I'll take a look now. I'll take a look. I'll give it a grab. Let's see if. Hopefully, there we go. Yeah, yes. Yeah, that does look definitely a lot thicker, that, doesn't it? Let's just have a look. If we can save it to somewhere useful. Won't be a second. So I was saying, where can I save it? Let's save it somewhere useful. How about that? That's a good idea. Okay. All right. I think I've saved it somewhere. Oh my god, let's try and find it. Won't be a second. Yeah, so it's definitely a difference here. Actually, it really is. Let's have a see. If I can find it. There we go. Let's see, quite big. There we are. Yes. There we go. Yes, so quite a big. Just check. I'll make it smaller. No, I think I've just moved something else. Okay, there you can see it. I can't try not to. Yeah, basically I can move the picture, but I can also move myself as well. Let's just check. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we are. Right, there we go. There we go. Okay. Yes, you can see there clearly on the left and the right hand side. That was the side I used to nibble as well. Could nibble down that perfectly, and they're both quite thick. I think, you know, I don't know if it was thicker than that when I was younger. I can't remember, but it was definitely like that where you had a proper nibble potential on each side for sure. Yeah, so it was very, yeah, very nice that when it used to be like that. I'll say I could get a bit today though. I must admit it was better than I thought it was going to be. It wasn't too bad. This is 2011. It said thick chocolate on the wrapper. Let's have a see. Let's have a look. Yeah, so I can't quite see. Oh yes, thick milk chocolate. Yeah, that was definitely the thing it used to tout about it being the thick chocolate. As I say, it was always that. You know, one of those. Yeah. Yeah, I actually have a banana ice cream wrapped into tapioca pancake every night. Wowzer. Goodness me, bananas. Well, we talked about bananas, haven't we, quite a lot recently? Yes. It's an odd mixture, but turns out to be great. Wow. Well, you certainly know your stuff, Joe. It's a shame, as I say, you know, well, I won't. I feel like I'm adding pressure to you to come back. I'm not. Would have loved to have seen pictures of all these things on Discord, Joe, I must say, but never mind. Well, there you go. Banana goes so well, peanut butter. Goodness me, I'm giving Jen ideas now. It does sound quite nice and quite healthy as well, I must say. Good stuff there. Good stuff there, Joe. Does sound interesting. Yeah, I must admit. I would like to see banana used a lot more, I must be said, so yeah. Right, so there we go. So we've got the clubs. As I say, clubs available in many flavours. For me, the orange has always been the one. I think it's always been the one that's been advertised on television as well. But there are other ones. I know some people do have a soft spot for the mint ones. So, do check those other ones out as well. But I think there are other flavours of Kit Kat and things. But I think generally the regular Kit Kat is where it's at. But I think with the club, it has seeped over a bit into the other flavours as well. Particularly the mint one, I would have said. Yeah, alright. Let's have a look now. What we got? Yes. Well, okay, let's do this one next. Why not? One of the classics. Yes. Here we go. McVitie's Gold. There we go. Yes. Got to do this one. This was the only thing I think other than Karamak, I think, for a very long time that did anything like this. Crunchy biscuit bars with a unique gold coating. There we go. So it doesn't say it's chocolate, don't forget. I don't think it's chocolate. We were talking about this, F&B in the comments as well was saying with the Nestle Milky Bar Gold one, it's basically just, it's just basically, was it condensed milk, whatever it is? I can't remember what the terminology now was. I think it was. Basically just boiled over and turns into caramel, essentially. So that's how you get the sort of caramel coating, or the caramel light coating, and it's not chocolate at all. And I guess this is kind of what this is as well, perhaps. It's condensed. I can't quite recall the terminology. What does it say? Yes, crunchy biscuit bars with a caramel flavour coating. There we go. Caramel flavour coating, 70%. There we are. Oh dear. Okay. If else, we've just got palm oil in there again. Yeah, this is a classic one for a lot of people. Gold bar, it really is. It's never one I really had when I was younger. Actually, I don't know why. I never really did. Yes, it never really had that sort of nostalgia thing for me. But I know a lot of people it does. It's 100 grams, 519 calories, 26.4 grams of fat, 21.1 of which are saturates, and per bar 18.3 grams. 95 calories, 4.8 grams of fat, 3.9 of which are saturates. There we go. So not bad per bar, but per 100 grams, getting towards the middle of the 500 to 550 scale for calories that most chocolatey type things have. The Queen approves there. Look at that. The Queen approves. She's happy with it. By appointment of Her Majesty the Queen. Can't read the rest of it, unfortunately. It's on a bit of an angle. Not focusing properly. Burton's Biscuit, I think. There we go. Who's vegetarian? 7 bars, 124 grams. There we are, yes. Could Mrs. Gold be an example of the camel formula you mentioned in the Milky Bar Gold review? Yes, this is, well, yes, sorry, Andrew. Yes, this is it. This is it, exactly. It's camel flavour, yeah, condensed milk, yes. It's basically, isn't it? Yeah, sorry, Andrew, I didn't see it. But yes, yeah, exactly. I didn't really think of it before then. But as I say, yeah, that's basically it. Interesting, isn't it, really? But it just goes to show. Yeah, so no actual chocolate, I guess, in it at all, really. Or nothing that's can be sort of labelled as chocolate. So interesting. But yeah, great minds think alike. There we go. Yes. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. So it's a funny one, isn't it? But that explains it all now, doesn't it? Because I've always been a bit unsure about what all this was, why it's not chocolate, and what actually it is. And that's basically it. So it's a good. It's clever that they managed to achieve that with condensed milk. So you get the caramel and you get like a chocolate-like appearance and a caramel flavour. Yeah, probably presumably for something a lot cheaper. Yes. Yes, it does. That's possibly what I talked about before about the things going together. Yes, frozen bananas. Cracky. We're talking about frozen stuff as well. It's another thing. It's a lot of things. I mean, chocolate and things we were saying, but lots of things seem to taste better or different when frozen or chilled. And frozen bananas as well. I thought that'd be too hard, really, but there we go. Here we go. Frozen bananas on a stick covered in chocolate are really good. That does sound very nice. Goodness me. We're covered in peanut butter in Jow's case. You should go back to Discord and have some pics to post on there. Well, don't feel obliged. It'd be great to see you about there, Joe, but I know you were against social media and stuff like that, so you wanted to clear all your accounts and stuff. But if you ever do come back, it would be great to see you again. And it'd be interesting to see all these pictures as well, because you do make a lot of stuff and have a lot of interesting recipes, so it would be great to see them all. Yeah. All right, so on what? There we go, yes. Here we go, so the gold bar, yeah. So that's a classic. There's a bit of flourishes on the edge here. I don't want to put them onto the big one. You can see, you could definitely fit in an extra bar in this space, couldn't you, really? There we go. Not doing it scientific there, but So 7 bars in here. So they're quite small bars, these ones. So the flourishes are quite tucked up. You can see they're very tiny. I mean, they are really small. Now, it's got that sort of typical smell coming from them already. But yeah, they are a tiny bar, really. I mean, you see next to the club how small they are, Club's wrapped pretty tight. Bear in mind the flourish, but yeah, you can see there's definitely a substantial size difference there. So does have the weightage on the club, 22 grams for a club. It actually says, but you can see 22 grams on there. It's twice 24 grams though. Actually, I haven't said that for the gold bar. So, so even at a smaller, they're 24. Oh, hang on. What does it say? 7 bars. Oh, did I miss the? Must have missed the weightage. Hang on. Maybe I confused myself. Hang on. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Does it say on there? Oh, 18.3. Yeah, so they are smaller. 18.3. This is 22. So they are small. Yeah, I just misread something completely there. Okay. Yes. Have you seen the new After Eights box Nessie brought out? It's a Black Magic style box. Okay, I've not seen that. No, is that like a chocolate selection, is it then? Interesting. Yeah. Chocolate selection. That sounds quite an interesting one, Andrew. So there are flourishes on these ones, but they were quite scrunched up before. Let's give it a bit of an open then. I say the gold bar is a classic. It does have that classic look. I mean, look at that. Tempted to sing that Spandau Ballet song, of course. I won't subject you to that, but partly because I don't know much of the lyrics other than the gold part. But there we go. There you go. You see, it's very yellow though, can't you? It's definitely. I don't remember it being this yellow, but rather I say it does look gold. So maybe it was. Maybe just thinking of Caramax. Yeah, Caramax. But there you go. See, it's got gold imprinted on it. Yeah. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? You see, it pops a bit more when it's at that angle. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's very nice. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? It does look like a gold bar, has to be said. Interesting. It's got like a, yeah, sort of caramelly type milky smell to it. Looks like a pat of butter, yes. It does a bit. It does look very yellow. It does look very yellow, has to be said. Yeah. Yes, it's After Eight selection. 5 chocolates, an orange and mint cream, and some block ones with white chocolate, and looks like green chocolate. Might say lemon and mint, but can't say. Interesting. Okay, green chocolate, you say. That does sound quite. Well, it does sound very interesting. You could argue it's better than they could have. It's more effort than they could have put into it. That's for sure. So it sounds quite interesting on that one. Looks lovely. Yes. Yes. Unfortunately, some of them do look a bit more peanut buttery. These kind of ones, Joe. A bit more browny. But yeah, there we go. All right, let's give a bit of a measure. You probably prefer that, but there we are. Yes. Okay, let's give it one at the bottom. It's about 7 centimeters width at the bottom, about 2.6, and the height 1.25, 1.26. And of course at the top it is not as wide because it's not straight. It's got a typical gold bar look to it, so I'll try and do those, but they're not very accurate. About 2.25 at the top width, the length at the top. I say it's quite difficult to get. I could do it with the ruler really, but maybe I should. 6.6. Okay. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so let's give it a snap. Let's have a see. You can see it's basically just a biscuit centre really, covered in that sort of caramel-like concoction. Basically condensed milk that's been boiled into caramel is what I think we've come to the conclusion that these kind of bars basically are. Which is quite a clever way, as we say, to get that flavour. But it does look very interesting, does look very nice. It is a classic one, as I say, so yeah. Yes, I only got a slight blurry image from Instagram page. Okay, it does new chocolate. That one, that guy keeps sneaking out stuff, is it? Well, green chocolate, like white chocolate. Okay, right, yeah, okay, yeah. Interesting then, yes. Well, to be honest with you, that's kind of what it's just interesting that it'll be have something like that in it, you know. You'd think it would just basically be lots of dark chocolate, and that's about it, really. So it's quite interesting that they've done a few different things. All right, well, let's give this a go then. Let's have a see. So this is, as I say, the classic gold bar. Does it taste as nice as I've not had it for quite some time? So let's give it a go. It does have a very it's a very distinct taste. It tastes nothing like let's say that Nestle Milky Bar Gold Bar from Australia that I had, or even the caramels and stuff like that I've had recently. It has a more of a buttery taste, that's for sure. It really does. So it's very nice, very interesting. It's say a funny bang. I don't know what it was. Maybe something else I don't know, but very interesting flavour. Very nice. Very unique. It's very distinct. As I say, it doesn't really taste that much else other than perhaps maybe a Caramac. But I've not had that for some time either. But the biscuit inside really brings it out as well. It's got lovely textures. It's actually really nice, actually. Again, I don't think it's going to set you all on fire. I think a lot of these bars are mainly sort of biscuit coupled with something else. But I would say, I feel like the regular Kit Kat probably is on the lower end of all these. I feel like the club has a bit more than the Kit Kat, having the orange flavour and things. And this one, again, is quite a bit more, got a bit more going about it as well, just with all this lovely, let's say golden, I don't know, gold topper. Seems to be quite thick on the top as well. Quite peely top of my teeth, but there's a thick top to this as well. There's a load of magpies going crazy outside. I'm not sure what they're doing, but you might be able to hear them. It's really nice, actually. It does look quite like dark chocolate heavy bar. Okay, well it would, yeah, it'd have to. This is the back onto the after eights selection, but to spot some white and green chocolate on the front of the box, 1 or 2 fondant creams. Well, it's good that they've put a bit. Well, yeah, I'm glad they've done that. Really, I think it's not a bad thing for them to make something a bit different in there. But I think it would have to be more dark chocolates. But even so, it sounds a good selection. I'll have to definitely do a live review of that one at some point. It does sound a good one, Andrew. Good spot there. This bit, This Is Gold, is actually pretty good. I actually quite like this one. I think I'd struggle really. I think to give this something like a 4.5 out of 5. But it definitely seems to be, a really distinct, nice, buttery, caramelly flavour around it. And it's quite thick as well at the top. And that biscuit inside as well, that gives it a nice crunch. It's actually very interesting as well. Again, could really give this a... I felt like I was disappointed when I last had it, actually. When I had it back, a few years back now, maybe just around when I started the channel. I'm sure I had it around then. I remember being a bit disappointed with it, thinking, I'm not sure what the fuss is about, but it's actually not too bad. I actually quite like it. It's never a classic for me because I never used to have it when I was younger for whatever reason. I think my mum just didn't buy it for me. But I think this was definitely on the upper end of the 4 out of 5 scale, but I think it's still a 4 out of 5. I just don't think there's enough there to give it a 4.5. But bearing in mind, as I say, the average chocolates are free, and that's still very nice. It's pretty good. I think it's just would be nice to add something else in it, really, if you know what I mean. But it looks great. It does look like a gold bar. It's got a lovely, golden look to it, and that taste comes across pretty well. It catches in the throat a bit slightly, but it's actually very nice. Yeah, I actually think it's really nice, that. It's on the upper end of the 4 out of 5 for sure. I just don't think I can quite give it a 4.5, but it's still very nice. Let's have a look. Cocoa butter. I don't think so, Joe, is the gist of it, because I don't think it's actually white chocolate. I think it's basically just, what's it called? Just condensed milk, essentially, that's been caramelised. We can see, but we never know. Have a look. Where's the ingredients? There they are. Let's have a look. Caramel flavour coating, 70%. So there we go. Got palm oil in it. It doesn't really tell you what that caramel flavour coating is. Interesting. It's got crisped rice there, which is interesting. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't seem to have it that I can see. Dried whole milk. But yeah, so it's not actually white chocolate. It's one of those cheats, Joe. We were just talking about it before, basically, where they just use condensed milk and essentially just boil it away, make caramel out of it, and that's how they get the taste. It seems to be the gist of it. Yes. Yeah, you basically natural flavour. I think that's a catch-all, basically, Andrew. I think it's just. I think basically, I think so. Anyway, I'm not sure. I think it's just. But yeah, I don't know. There might be some shenanigans going on there. I think, but yeah, it's like you said. It could be a bit more. Yeah, distinct about what it is. Yeah. Like you say, what part of it does that count as? Does it mean the flavour from the milk? Who knows? Very strange, yeah. But yes, one of those, yeah. Have you heard about that, doing that, Joe, the condensed milk trick? It seems to be a thing now. I've not really noticed it before, took into account, but there we go. Oh, hi there, Susie. Great to see you. How's things going for you? Great to see you again. It's been a long time. How's things going? But yes, great. Glad you enjoyed that one. Yeah, as I say, it's a classic for many people. Unfortunately, it just passed me by when I was younger. I just was never bought it by my mum. You see, she was always just one that buys all the things. Never got it for me, so it didn't have the classic status for me, but I do still really like it. It's still a really nice one. Is it a 5 out of 5 for you then, Susie? I take it. I think for me it's still really nice. I do really like it a lot. I just feel like for it to be more than a 4, it's almost a 4.5 actually, but I feel like it might have to have something else or something a bit more in it, if you know what I mean. Because at the end of the day, well, as nice as it is, it's I don't know. I feel like there could be more to it, if you know what I mean. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. It's very hard not to give all the chocolate things 5 out of 5. So I usually start at 3 and work around that, because as I say, otherwise you would just give everything 5 out of 5. So yeah, so that's why the average chocolate for me is about a 3 really. So yeah, it's very nice. So I did like it a lot, and it's better than it's still got a thick chocolate topper. I thought it was actually very good, that. But yeah. Good old classic, definitely, for sure. And it's just a shame I didn't get that when I was younger. It's a shame the ones I did used to get were 5, 4, 3, 2, 1s and taxis, but they're not available anymore. And then Uniteds as well. They were the ones I fondly remember. It's a shame. Yes. There we go. Yes, it's classic for you. 4 out of 5 for you. Okay, yes. But you're good. Good to see you. Glad you're okay, Susie. And good, everything's going okay. It's a 4 out of 5 for you. But yeah, well, we're both in agreement. That's good. It's still very nice, as you say. But I'm glad you were of the same opinion as well. Fox's Classic. I think Andrew was a big fan of that. It's the Elite Biscuit. Yeah, Fox's biscuits are always good. I think they're very very nice. Yeah, I didn't used to have those in my lunchbox, unfortunately. I wish I did. Very nice biscuits. I do love Fox's biscuits. I must say they are on another level. I think I must admit I do like Fox's biscuits. I particularly like their sort of take on the jammy Dodgers. I feel that actually works really well. I think I mentioned that most times, because I've been doing so many Jammy Dodger reviews lately. I always say they're nice-ish, but Foxes just do them so much better. But great to see you, Susan. Really glad you're doing okay. Great to see you back. To be honest, I've seen your Milky Way review. Never realised that it was the rule to have cocoa butter in order to be accepted as white. Well, I don't know if it's a hard and fast rule. I mean, I must admit, I had a look. It's kind of why I put the word generally in there, because I don't know. I think it's kind of in some places, maybe the EU, for instance. I don't know, you see, so it's one of those. But yeah, maybe even more places. But there could be some places that isn't applicable to. But it seems to be what is generally accepted for it to be white chocolate. But it's not. I don't know if it's necessarily the way. So I could be wrong on it, of course. So it's always a bit of a worry when I put things like that. So I try to sort of sound not ambiguous, but not make it a hard and fast rule. But I think that's generally what's expected. It's expected to have in it. Guess I never come across any candy boxes. It's basically condensed milk. Well, exactly. This is it. We get quite a few of them here, and for a long time I always thought they were chocolate. You see, and like Caramax is another one which you hear me mention quite a lot. It's basically the gold bar but without the biscuit. And I say these other ones where the Milky Bar one. Now Milky Bar is meant to be a white chocolate bar, so it's a bit disingenuous really for the Milky Bar one to not actually be white chocolate. And I don't think even the actual Milky Bar in Australia is actually white chocolate or is labelled as white chocolate. It might be actually white chocolate as such, but the laws say they can't call it white chocolate. Like a lot of these American ones, they call themselves chocolate flavoured chocolate or whatever it is, or chocolate flavoured coating, where it's basically just not got enough, I don't know what it is, cocoa solids or whatever to be labelled as chocolate. You know, something like that anyway. Jammy Dodgers is more a sort of kiddie thing or a novelty thing or just a bit of fun, whereas the Fox's Jam and Creams seem a bit posher, like a biscuit to dunk in a drink. Yeah, you're probably right there, Andrew. I think that's probably a good way to sum it up, that. Probably a good way to sum it up. They are, Foxes definitely have a bit of an elegance to them, don't they? Where Jammy Dodgers are a bit of a classic kids biscuit, I think. And yeah, as I always said, for me, there's just too much biscuit to fill in for me for Jammy Dodgers. But I don't know if they could ever change it because it's a classic and a lot of people still buy them. So, but just for me, unfortunately, they're just a bit too, Great to see you, Corey. Great to see how Sheffield today. Hope you're doing all right. Yes, how's the weather for you? Is it has it gone a bit bad or is it still okay? I hear you. Another one with classic gold bar. Yeah, a lot of people. As I say, a lot of people. I missed out unfortunately on gold bars, but it's the classic for a lot of people. Yeah, and unfortunately, when I was young, I just never had it. You know, really unfortunate that. Yeah, I missed out a bit, unfortunately. But it's a nice. What would you rate it, Corey? I think me and Susie have both gone for 4 out of 5. What would you think? But yeah. It is a classic one. It's nice, actually. It deserves that status. I tried it a few years back, and I was a bit nonplussed by it. But I don't know. Maybe I was just having a bad day or something. Because today is actually very nice. Oop, wrong one. Well, feel free to look at this one. Yes, please leave a like and show you're subscribed. There we go. If you're enjoying the chat, if you joined the chat. If the jam went well all the way, yeah, exactly. If the jam went all the way to the edges, it would be much better biscuit with Jammy Dodgers. I went out yesterday too when it was boiling, and W.H. Smith had loads of fans in the window. So it's always a problem when you need the fan. You never sell for like the 3 days of the year. Luckily, I've still got one, but I've been okay actually this year. Touch wood. My house has remained reasonably okay. So it's one of those. Yes. Hi there, Noz. How's it going? If you've been a while as well, great to see you back. Yes, I can't see past the chocolate hobnob for dunking. Yeah, hot chocolate hobnobs. For me, it's top tier biscuit, has to be said. Nice to see you, Roberto. I hope you're well. Oh, thanks so much, Noz. Great to see you as well. Great to see you as well. Oh, lovely to see you back also. It's been a long time for you also, but great to see you still about and doing okay. It's really good to hear. But yeah, I think I've got a bit of a wheeze in my throat for some reason. But yeah, chocolate hobnobs are top tier biscuits for me, I must say. I mean, I think when I was in my old workplace about quite some time ago, 10, 15 years ago, we did a thing where asking people what their favourite biscuit was. And, you know, we just like, yeah, everyone was saying, you know, chocolate hobnob. And it was just like, that was the expected one. It was as if, you know, we just knew that everyone would say that. I mean, of course, I know some people don't, you know, might not have that as a favourite biscuit, but chocolate hobnobs, they're just something so, they're so simple, but they're just amazing. And for dunking, as you say, very nice. Yeah. Beautiful colour, that bar, by the way. Yes, it was a nice, wasn't it? It's very, very golden. It has to be. They've done a good job with that bar. I think they've got a good thickness to it, good consistency. It was on the cusp of being a 4.5 out of 5, but I don't know. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. On the cusp. Another day, maybe. But yeah, it does look very nice. Yesterday was red hot. Today it's cloudy and cool. Yeah, it's gone cloudy and cool. Like, it's still warm inside my house because the heat's not dissipated yet, or whatever the word is. Yes. 11 out of 10, I see. For gold bars. Goodness me, you're a big fan there. Good fan there. Well, glad you like them so much, Corey. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, you know, yeah. clearly one of your favourites there. It's a difficult one to rate chocolate sometimes because, of course, you know a lot of people like the ones you're reviewing, and of course sometimes, you know, old chocolate's nice, as I say, so it's a hard one to get the balance right. But hopefully I try and do it. You know, hopefully. Rich Tea Biscuit. If I'm the only person out there that would say a Rich Tea Biscuit is your favourite, goodness me, Jen, goodness me, that is a controversial statement to say the very least. I mean, I think Jow would say, basically, if you knew, I don't know if he's had Rich Tea Biscuits, but he would definitely say with peanut butter spread on them. I don't mind Rich Teas as bad as, basically, if you'd asked me 15 years ago, maybe, or something like that, I would have said, you know, yeah, I just would not have agreed with you at all. Well, I still don't really agree with you, Jen, I must say. I do apologise. But they are quite a plain biscuit, but they're actually not as bad as you'd think. They're actually, obviously you think they're really nice, but I think generally the perception is they're a very plain biscuit. But they're actually quite sweet. I actually think they're quite nice in a strange way. I don't think they're a go-to biscuit for me. But if they're there, I can quite enjoy them, actually. And I think they would be quite, and I think they are pretty perfect to dunk in a cup of coffee. Now, morning coffee is on the cup of tea rather. Morning coffee, well, coffee. But I think tea is I think they work a bit better with tea because I think they can get a bit too soggy if you dunk them in them. I think tea is generally a bit colder because it's had time to brew and things. But I think a coffee. I don't know. There's morning coffees, those biscuits, and I think they are just a bit too dull. Those ones. They're the kind of the two biscuits that I would generally argue roughly around the regular digestive level. I think maybe a Rich Tea might be slightly above, slightly more, but yeah, they're the kind of ones that compete with that area, really. And I think, but morning coffee for me, I don't know, that biscuit, I think that's probably the one I would say is the least interesting biscuit out there, really. I'm strangely quite like Garibaldi's as well. They're sort of come up a bit more with me over time. You know, I'm not a big raisin fan, or sultana fan, whatever, but the Garibaldi, I don't know, seems to work quite well as well. Just has it quite right. And even though that's quite a mundane biscuit, but again, has gone up in my opinion as I've got a bit older, I guess. Interesting though, but very controversial statement there, Jen. I would be careful who you say that to. I like As's version of, only joking of course, I like As's version of chocolate hobnobs, the chocolate oaties. Okay, interesting. I've seen them. I like the name Oatie, actually. I think that's a really nice name. I've seen them, I think. I feel like I have done, but I've never bought them because it's one of those where I just never bought. Sometimes buy own brand ones like Bourbons and things, but hobnobs I've never bought like an own brand one of those. So maybe I should try it. Interesting then. So do you actually think they're better than the regular ones, the actual McVitie's ones then, Corey? That's an interesting one. Interesting. But yeah, I'll have to remember, Jen, that you're the Rich Tea fan. That's an interesting one for sure. Definitely. As I say, I appreciate. I think I've said this before to other people, so you might remember me saying it to some people. But I do think they are better than I perceived them to be when I was younger, and I actually relatively like them. I don't think they're sort of a classic for me. I think they need to perhaps be dunked in chocolate, maybe. But but there we go. All right, the next one then. Yes, I've got another classic here as well. Another classic. Yeah, the Penguin. It's in various own brand. There's various own brand versions of this called like Puffins and I don't know what other Seabird toucans probably, and I know. Any other seabirds you can think of? I think they're the two mainly. Probably some made up seabird that you might have done, I don't know. But pick up a penguin. Okay, there we go. That's the old slogan for it. I have a few different flavours of these ones. There's orange ones, I think there's mint ones now as well. There's probably some others. I think you could definitely do having a caramel flavour with actual caramel in it. I think that'd be really good. Yeah, but they don't. It has a cream flavour in it. I'd say it would be good if they did do that. So milk chocolate covered biscuit bars filled with chocolate cream. There we go. It's got palm fat in them as well. Milk chocolate 29%. And what else is in there? Anything else of any percentage type things? Look, it's got some cream in it, but as I say, filled with chocolate cream. Per bar 521 calories, so again pushing towards that middle of the 500 to 550. 27 grams of fat, 15.3 of which are saturates. That's per 100 grams. Per bar 130 calories, 6.8 grams of fat, 3.8 of which are saturates. Bars per pack 8. Any weightage? 8 times 24.6 grams, 196.8 in total. Super vegetarians, and the Queen approves yet again. And Burton Biscuits also. By appointment, by Her Majesty the Queen, Burton's something or others manufacturers, United Biscuits UK Limited, London. Some kind of Britain's Got Talent shenanigans going on. Interesting one. Yes, the only company I've ever seen do morning coffee biscuits these days is Happy Shopper. I've never, yeah, are they still even around then? Value brand of Crawford's, yes. The value brand of United Biscuits, okay, yes. I've seen those Crawford's ones. Well, the Crawford's, not the necessary ones. Best buy some. I'll have to give them a try then, Corey. Yeah, those hobnobs. They sound quite interesting. I've never considered them before, but I like the name Otis, I must say. It sounds a good name, that. It's almost better than the name hobnobs, I think. Family Circle used to be made by Crawford's, and it changed to McVitie's. Okay. Yeah, Family Circle, it's very... I'm not a fan of that biscuit set, I must say. Morning coffees or biscuits are very rarely seen these days. It's one of those your granny always used to have, wasn't it, morning coffees? You went around to your grandma's, they have like morning coffees. I mean, who on earth buys these biscuits? It was always your grandma. There you go. Yes, love the penguin. Tell us the joke. Well, yeah, that's right. There is one on penguin things. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it's been a long time. A long time. Yeah. I didn't even know how to do that. Yeah, it's been a very long time. I forgot completely about that, actually, Susie. It's on each bar, isn't it, in the wrapper underneath the flap, I think. That's the original name. What, the penguin one? Yes. It's quite a common thing in the UK, and then all the other wrapper, or the other, there's basically knockoff ones, like puffins and other things like that. Yes, Kevin, let's get split sides laughing at jokes on the penguins. Yeah, did they still do jokes on ice cream sticks? That used to be very much a thing, but I don't really get anything with a stick on anymore. I think like strawberry splits and things. I like those biscuits, that's like morning coffee, but with chocolate. Yeah, I think that's it. I think you've hit the nail on the head, Corey, with what to do with a biscuit that's not great. Just stick chocolate on it and you can't go wrong. Seal bars, there we go, seals, yes. Honestly. Yeah, it's basically that, isn't it? Okay, let's have a look then. We'll find out what jokes, what hilarious antics we'll get up to here. So, a bit of flourishes here going on, by the way. You can see, definitely fit an extra one in those flourishes. I mean, I realise the flourishes had to help opening it, but, you know, I don't know. You don't have to have them on. We've seen very tightly packed things before. Yeah, what's this Queen logo all about? Yeah, it's basically, I think the Queen and Prince Charles and some other things, other royal people, have their own, like, symbols, and they put them on products to say that they... I guess they kind of approve of them, or it's got the backing of them. You'll find it on not just sweet things, but like, I don't know, other products. It might be even on weird like safety equipment and stuff like that. Yeah, you just get them in the UK, and you have like, you might have more than one symbol sometimes. I'm sure I've seen like Prince Charles's one on like a defibrillator or something like that. I think something like that. Anyway, might be wrong with that, but I'm sure. So it's just a weird thing in the UK, Joe. I don't really know what weight it has behind it, really. But you do see it on products and other things. I don't think people generally look for it. I think you'd expect it on classic products like Cadbury's and stuff like that, perhaps. But I'm not sure about things like non-food products. I'm not sure, but it's an interesting one. But yeah, definitely a UK thing. As I say, I'm sure I've seen it on like weird safety equipment and stuff like that. Okay, so you can get multiple types of penguin. Now in one pack, I'm sure they did... It used to be multicoloured. Well, they do different types of penguin now. It used to actually be multicoloured inside the... in the regular penguins, used to be different colours, but now because they do mint ones, etc., they're all red now. And I think that's because some people are allergic to the mint and stuff like that. I remember a friend had a problem when she had Yeah, one of the mint ones, and thought it was just a regular one, but it was a mint one. So they've obviously been a bit careful now. Yeah. Labs biscuits, yeah, they're really good. Those, yeah, you're right there, Corey. They're very nice biscuits. That chocolate on them is so thick as well. That's the thing, isn't it? But yeah, you're right. It's a relatively mundane biscuit, but yeah, lovely topper on those. Yeah, I like morning coffees with chocolate. Actually, my favourite. Yeah, you're right. They are very nice because the chocolate's just so thick on them. It's just ridiculously thick. They've just thought, right, we're just not gonna, we're not gonna hold back here. We're gonna make this work, and they've done a good job actually. Yeah. All right, so here's a joker. So we can see here there's different types of design where the penguin's doing crazy things. Got him being, what's he doing on this one? Is he an astronaut? That's it. Okay. Pick up a penguin. Like he's there playing nice hockey with a, I don't know, what's it say on there on it? Emperor, is it emperors? Emperor penguins, I guess. He's got like a fish on it then. So there's all sorts there. We've got another ice hockey one, I think. We've got some kind of, what's this one? Rock guitar guy penguin. There we go. Another one as well. We've got superhero penguin, little penguin as well. That's quite cute. Oh, very sweet. And then we've got, what's this one? Just a, I don't know. Well, I think most penguins generally go into the sea. I'm not sure they need the safety equipment, but this one has, just in case, it's got a rubber ring. And we've got this one as well, doing a nice sculpture as well of his little baby penguin as well. Making another penguin. Hopefully not murdering a frozen penguin. That'd be quite disturbing. Does make it, give it a bit of a disturbing look. But I'm sure he's just making a nice sculpture. But there we go. But, yes. But there we go. Anyway, yes, we'll move on for that. Right, so let's give these a taste. So there is a joke somewhere on it. Can I see it under the flap? No, there we go. Yes, there we go. We've got a few. Should we do all the jokes or just one? I don't know. Let's see what this one's like. If it'll focus in. Maybe he's got a restriction on penguins. What do penguins wear to the beach? Anyone got any ideas? What do penguins wear to the beach? Yes, you have to bite around the edges of the litmus bars. Yeah, get all that chocolate first. Very good. Good bar to eat. I like things like that. Not sure if they're like morning coffee or rich tea biscuit. Yeah, I know what you mean. Don't worry, Corey. Yeah, I think it's morning coffee. I think you were right. Have to get full pack with a cup of tea. Andrew's in there first. Flippers. Could you be right? Could you be right? There you go. Or flipper flaps. There we go. Or just flip flops maybe. They've just adapted it to the joke. Flipper flops. There we go. Flipper flops. There we are. You were nearly there, Andrew. Nearly there. Goodness me. There we go. The height of entertainment. Yeah, God. Okay. Yes. Yeah, you were right there. Well done, Andrew. You knew we flip or something. No, Jow got it. Jow got it. Yes. Well, we'll do one more. What's okay? Here we go. What's a penguin's favourite ice cream flavour? There we are. Anyone got any ideas? Penguin's favourite ice cream flavour. Trust me, I can't even. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I can't think of one. Anyone? That's quite a difficult one. Well, I can't think of it anyway. That's what Penguin's favourite ice cream flavour, anyone? Anyone at all? Anyone at all? I'll tell you, maybe, well, yeah, okay. I was going to say I'll leave it with you for a bit while we open the other one, but yeah. All right, I don't think I've got it. Let's have a see. Pistachio, there we go. So, I mean, it's not the most famous ice cream flavour, and surely it should be what's the penguin's favourite nut. Well, there we go. Anyway, there we are. Quality entertainment there. Quality jokes. I mean, why is it not a penguin's favourite nut? Why is it? I know you do get pistachio for ice cream, but I mean, I'm thinking of chocolate, Neapolitan, mint, choc chip. There were several flavours I would have gone through before I got to pistachio, and then, even then, I don't think I would have altered it to have fish in the front of it. There are quality jokes there, Joe. The penguin jokes are so bad they're funny. Yes, this is it. I think that's the thing with Christmas, Christmas cracker jokes and things like that. They purposefully do that, don't they? Really, just because otherwise you just get nothing from them. All right, there we go. Maybe I'll do one more in a minute. I feel like might break the internet if we the bad taste centers. Okay, let's give this an open then. Yeah, let's have a look. Okay. Right, there we go. It's a bit melty, this one. As I say, penguins are a bit susceptible to it more than others, maybe, in handling. But there we go. This is what a penguin looks like. See there? You can see clearly the sort of cream centre there where the chocolate's dipped in a bit. It's pretty good. 2 biscuit layers, I think. Let's give it a bit of a measure then before we. Let's see, it's on 0. A bit melty, so I have to be careful. About 7.7 centimetres there. It's a bit knobbly at the end, so it could be plus or minus a millimetre. And height 1.3. And the width, and again a bit knobbly, 3.3. There we go. Yeah, there we are. Not too bad. Yeah, I didn't even know there was a pistachio. Well, this is it, Jad. To be honest with you, it's not the most famous of ice cream, and it exists like other flavours might do in ice cream. Like you could say strawberry cheesecake one or something. You know, it's it does exist, but it's not the most famous of flavours. So yeah, it's a bit of a funny one. Great idea of having a joke on a chocolate bar, though. Yes, it is a good idea. You used to do it on, as I say, on ice. Basically, from the ice cream man, mostly you would have got like an ice cream on a stick generally back in the day. I think maybe strawberry splits as well was one with a stick on. You used to always have a joke on the stick, but I don't know because you don't really get many ice creams on sticks anymore. Probably because it costs more money to put a joke on it. They don't tend to have it anymore. But you used to always get them on the stick. You used to always get them. I'll say not really. I don't know. They might still do it with some strawberry splits if you get them, but you don't even see strawberry splits very much anymore. Ice creams, so but they are quite nice. Basically like a vanilla ice cream with a strawberry outer coating on a stick. That's really good. Right, let's give us a snap. So you can see there. Hopefully you can anyway. If it focuses in, there we go. So you can see a nice sort of thick, creamy layer of 2 biscuit toppers. Well, biscuit topper on the bottom. Quite a thick layer of cream there. Not too bad. Interesting one. So I was last time I had penguins, the cream was a bit too creamy, as to coin a phrase. But so we'll see what it's like. I remember there is a bar in Australia called the Tim Tam. Very similar. You know, the biscuits are different. It's similar in appearance, but the biscuit's a lot more airy. I found a bit less dense in the Tim Tam. An interesting one. Looks very nice. Yes, it is. It does have a good substance to it. Yeah, basically you go for an ice cream place, see green ice cream, think, oh, is that mint choc chip? But you realise it's pistachio and you suffer for the rest of the day. Yes. I know, I must admit, I'm not. Yeah, I think I'm not a massive nut person, basically. I know Jao was very much more of a nut person than me, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, as you say, when ice cream and sometimes chocolates really have nuts in it, kind of puts me off a bit. I'm not a massive nut person. Yeah. Remember that hoax on social media saying penguins were just bourbons with chocolate on and people were microwaving them to see if there was a bourbon underneath? I don't remember that, Andrew. I didn't know that. That passed me by. Was something that really happened? Honestly. That's quite interesting because they do look. I can see why that could be believable, but obviously yeah, they are different enough. I think you'd say, but yeah, it's interesting. Microwaving them though, that'd be quite funny. But yeah, bourbons are different enough. I think But yeah, I can see why it might be believable. Sort of interesting. I didn't know about that. All right, let's give it a bit of a nibble then. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a try. So let's nibble around the edge, I think. So quite a nice, I'm gonna say chocolate biscuit this time. The other ones have been sort of, as I say, I don't know, not a chocolate biscuit basically, a regular one. The cream's not bad actually. I seem to remember it being a bit too, It's quite creamy cream, if that makes sense. It's not as I don't think we're talking about bourbons. Actually, I think it's sort of thinner than a bourbon. It liquefies a lot quicker in your mouth. The bourbon one's a bit more thicker, really. The other thing with bourbons, it doesn't go edge to edge either. This one pretty much goes edge to edge. Although in this case, you can see where it's dipped in a bit. But yeah, interesting. It's not too bad. I think it's got a nice crunch to it. It's got a nice chocolate to it. I think these biscuits all sort of tick the box of being actually pretty nice biscuits, to be honest with you. It's a funny one. I can do funny things with this one where you could nibble. What I would do is nibble it vertically as well. So, I love it when it looks like that, things like this, when you do stuff like that. So yeah, nice look to it there, and I like the way you can do things like this. It's let's say got a bit of the cream. It's not bad. I feel like it's maybe a bit more average than the other ones. I don't know. There's just something a bit less exciting about it. I feel like the biscuits, while it's a chocolate biscuit, I feel like it's not quite got. It's quite, you know. Conversely, I think chocolate biscuits, chocolate cakes, even though they are chocolate, like in the sponge or the biscuit, or even the cookie if it's a cookie, I feel like they're kind of not quite as strong. If you know what I mean. I feel like they don't have as interesting a flavour. I think the vanilla flavouring of just a regular biscuit and a cake or whatever that's, you know, vanilla sort of sponge or what have you, just seems to have a bit more of a flavour to it. And I feel like this one, you know, it's chocolate, it just doesn't really come across as interesting and as flavourful. And the cream's okay, but again, it's just okay, if you know what I mean. I don't feel like it's blowing me away as a filling, really. And again, it could be because it's just too much chocolate flavoured stuff. So I do think this is perhaps a weaker one of the three. It's still nice though, it's better than I remembered it being. I remember being quite disappointed last time I had it. There are flavoured ones of these, and I think the flavoured ones were definitely the way to go, because I think having an extra flavour would just add something, for obvious reasons, just add more to it, really. And I think they would be probably more on a par of the other ones, but I think this one's a bit less. Yeah, Australian Tim Tams are better. I think the Australians are better. Never tried one. An interesting one. The biscuit's just a bit different. I found it was just a bit less dense, a bit more. I don't know. It's weird. You just have to trying to think how I could describe it really. But just it just seems like the biscuit just seems to have more air in it for some reason. It's strange. I don't think it actually does have air in it, but yeah. Basically, on TikTok, a video where you put a penguin in a microwave and then jump cut to a bourbon. They always do things like this in TikTok and Snapchat and stuff, aren't they? You know, but with melted chocolate on, and people were trying to see if it was real. Yeah, you do get people like that would believe things like this. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, mind you, I mean, you know, maybe just I'll give it a try and see. But I don't know, yeah. The chocolate inside is similar. It does have a similar look. I must admit, it does look similar. For me, the chocolate's not quite as it's a bit thinner in a penguin. Bourbon doesn't seem to melt in the mouth as quick, you know. But it has a similar look. It does have the look of obviously the cocoa biscuit as well. But yeah, I think for me the penguin is a bit weaker really. It's just too much. The chocolate sort of biscuit and the chocolate cream, I don't know. They're just a bit too. They both, I don't know. They're both too similar to each other to really stand out that much, I feel. And the chocolate covering is quite thin as well. It's still there. It's not bad. It looks great, and it's quite a thick, bigger bar than the others, but I feel like the taste, it just needs to have something different in it. And as I say, I think if you went to the other flavours with the orange ones or the mint ones or something like that, I'd really like them to do a caramel one with actual caramel in it. I think that'd be really good, but they'll never do that, I don't think. But yeah, I think this one for me, it's still really nice, but I feel like it's just a bit less than the other ones. And I feel to the extent where I think I can give this one a 3.5 out of 5 rather than a 4. But I think if you had a mint flavoured club or an orange flavoured club, depending, of course, if you like that flavour, I think it would then go up to a 4, I think. But it's just, penguin rather, not club. But I feel for me, it's just, I don't know, it just doesn't quite have as much interesting about it, really. But it does have nice textures, but I feel like the tastes are just a bit too one-note in it for me. But still nice. Yeah, so some American reviews trying Bourbon Creams, and they thought they were Bourbon flavoured as an alcoholic drink. And they're saying, oh, you can really taste it in the aftertaste. Goodness me. Imagine if they got drunk. They have done things, haven't they, where they've given people fake, drinks they thought were alcoholic, and then they've actually acted as if they were drunk. But interesting, but yeah, he's drunk off Bourbon Creams. Imagine that. Remember when I was younger, I used to you had the biscuits in basically. I used to take out the Bourbons. I used to just eat the cream off the Bourbon and put the two biscuit bits back together and put them back in the biscuits. You just go through all the Bourbons, and then so my mum or someone would come to the biscuits in to get a Bourbon, and then just wonder what on earth had gone on with it. Maybe even ate it. I don't know. Not even noticed. But well, obviously noticed once they ate it. But yeah. But then so the biscuits unfortunately then went on top of the fridge where I couldn't reach it. So until one day I realised I could. I think I wasn't strong enough at the time. When I eventually was, I could get the chair and stand on the chair to get to the biscuits in. Now, so you think the same, do you, Corey? Yeah, I think that's one of those, isn't it? Yeah, it is a bit. They're still nice though. They are still nice, but yeah, I think they just need something else about them for penguins for me. Well, let's have another penguin joke then. Let's see. I think we can probably guess this one, maybe. I think, well, I don't know. It's not a film, actually. I think it's a TV series I was thinking of. What's a penguin's favourite film? There we go. We did the last year. We want to go through them all, I guess. But yeah. What's a penguin's favourite film? Yeah, did he still do the Raisin Clubs, Corey? I've not seen that in a long time. I've not seen that for some time, actually. It was never one I was massively into because I never quite liked raisins. But probably if I had it now, I might appreciate it a bit more. But I've not seen it for a long time, actually. Which is showing the purple one, yeah. But I've not seen it for some time. They still do the equivalent for Yorkie, I think, don't they? The basically the it's raisin and biscuit with that one. So you might still get the fix from there. When I was little, we got some sort of meal with red wine sauce. Can't remember what it was, but I was waiting all night to feel drunk and it never happened. I think getting the S in, honestly. Well, yeah, I think I probably did similar things when I was younger, actually. It does ring bells. Here we go. I think Jen might be on this one. Jen might be onto it. What's the Penguin's favourite film? Let's have a look. Oh, well done, Jen. Well done. Clearly an honorary penguin there, Jen. Well done indeed. Frozen, yes. Well done. I was thinking of TV series of Flipper. That's what I was thinking, but that's not a film. But if it was TV series, yeah, I would have got that one. But no, well done, Jen. Good work. I didn't get it. Well, there you go, Jen. If you need a new job, I think that's the place to go. The Penguin Joke Factory. I think you'll... So I had to... Right, I got the last one for today. This is a classic for me. This is one I always had when I was younger. I always used to love this one. It's still available. I don't know if it's quite as good nowadays because I've not had it for some time. But yeah, it's the Breakaway original. They do a Karamak covered one. We've been of Karamak, but this is the original Breakaway. I always loved these ones. Nestle Breakaway as well. Yeah, so I always really was a big fan of these. So well, it's been some time since I had them. Basically, like all the others, it's just a chocolate covered biscuit. It seems to be a common theme around these bars, doesn't it? You know, one of those. So very much an interesting one for me, these ones, because as I say, even though this all seems to go around the same thing, which is chocolate covered biscuit, there is a difference to the taste, you know, even if it's only slight, there is. But yeah, Jen got it right. Well done, Jen, as I say. Oh, I didn't get that one actually, no, I must admit. Yeah. You know, they still have the Raisin. Clearly, I've not seen them for some time. Maybe some supermarkets don't sell everything of certain brands and stuff like that. So maybe it's like Asda, where I go to. They've not seen them in there. So glad they still do them then, Corey. That's good to know. You know, they do those salted caramel ones, which are not very good. The new ones, which aren't very good actually. Yeah, we might do another penguin joke in a minute. We'll do one before we go, maybe, and then yeah. But there you go, Breakaways. So let's see what. I always got to say something about Breakaways. I've always really liked, even though they're quite straightforward. So per 100 grams, 508 calories, 25.1 grams of fat, 13.9 which are saturates, and per biscuit, 97 calories, 4.8 grams of fat, 2.7 which are saturates. So you can see they try to go around 100 calories, don't they, for these sort of products generally. 8 biscuits in the pack, 152.8 grams, 8 times 90.1 grams. It says don't recycle. Don't recycle. Yeah, I'm assuming it means this product, not general advice. I always say these things, and there's a thrown in the bin symbol there. There we go. Rainforest Alliance, cocoa plant. Again, I would always look into what these things do, just in case. But it says they support cocoa farmers and their communities. Just in case if it's of an interest to you and it means something, I would always look into it. See just what they do. One biscuit is one serving. What have we got in the ingredients? This 8 digestive biscuits. So it's actually digestive biscuits, it says. Covered with milk chocolate. Ingredient sugar. Few things. Wholemeal wheat flour, 13%. Palm fat. And anything else? Whole oat flour, 3%. Cocoa butter, cocoa mass. Rainforest Alliance certified cocoa. Okay. Sodium bicarbonate. So that's something to go in a toothpaste, that is. Yes. Yes, Breakaway is just what I did for the last thing in the cupboard, but I hope you enjoyed them. You're not a big fan. Enjoyed them more than you. You don't dislike them, but they're a bit tedious. Yeah. I used to really, I've not had them for some time, but I used to be a big fan of them. But I've not had them for some time, so we'll see. But I just like, I don't know, there's something about them that I just liked. They had a honeycomb club. That was right. Yes, the honeycomb one. That was the yellow one, wasn't it? I think as well. Not sure if they have those still. Just realised you have reviewed them already. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I think they did do it for some time. And I think it was okay. I think it was okay, basically. Yeah, it's hard to rate some of these things sometimes, you know, because some of them are quite much just slight difference. But you know, right, let's give Breakaways an open. I always don't know something about Breakaways. I always used to quite like. But let's see if I still do. There you go. So quite a small one. I'm sure they used to have like a Christmas tree design on them and stuff like this. Breakaways. I'm sure they did. Obviously at Christmas time. Breakaway original. Let's give it a bit of an open then. Yes, whey powder ingredients doesn't make the products a bit more expensive. Well, possibly. I think they are quite a typical cost, these Jow, to be honest with you. They might have been. To be honest with you, I didn't look too intense at the price because it can change. They do offers and things, I don't know. But I do feel like the Breakaway is kind of a bit more, because it's like made by Nestle, for instance, and stuff like that. It's a bit different. So the other ones are not quite, or made by different company, usually McVitie, so they're a bit of a different, on a different level to an extent. Whether, by which I mean, they're not, it's just a different company makes them, so they could be done slightly differently. But I've always had the impression that they've been a bit more, it's been something a bit different about Breakaways, I must say. But whether there is really a difference in quality, I don't know. But like you say, maybe it does. But I've not noticed specifically, Joe, is the gist of it. Not noticed specifically. I wouldn't have said noticeably so. But it could be, there could be a difference. But I didn't notice anything. Fortunately, I don't have the receipt to hand. But yeah, I'm not sure. If anyone wants to have a look on the Asda website for the prices as well. But yeah, they are quite a similar price, to be honest with you. I don't think it'd be noticeably different. Okay, so there we go. So got like that checkerboard design, which I think was on the front of the pack. Yes, it was, the big one. If I can get to it. Let's have a see. Yes, there we go. So it does have that checkerboard design. It looks quite like it does on the front, must be said. Show you it properly, yeah. It's quite a nice design as well. It's a bit plain, you might say, but nonetheless, quite like it because it's a bit melty today, so my fingers are leaving imprints on the side. Measure then. Let's measure edge to edge on the bottom. About 8 centimeters in length there. And then the width, 2.9. And the height, I always found the smell of the Breakaways quite nice. 1 centimeter exactly, look at that. Wow. It's pretty good. Anything else? Yeah, so the width at the top as well. Not very accurate this, but we'll do it all the same. Roughly at the top, about 7.9. Might not be quite accurate though, so I'm not worrying too much about it because I've got to draw the line somewhere, but I just do it for consistency. Width at the top about 7.8, or 2.8 rather. Okay. Yeah. All right. Corey's a fan of Breakaways. There's something about Breakaways, I just like the smell of them. I don't know, something a bit interesting. I like Breakaways, yes. The biscuit breakers is something, exactly, it says it's a digestive on the thing, but it does taste a bit different. There's something about it. Yeah, Corey, I agree with you there. The chocolate's nice and creamy too. There's something about Breakaways I do like, and it's just, I don't know. No, I'm just not a big fan, but it's been a while since I've had them though, so we'll see. But yes, it's a bit of a snap. So you can see the biscuit. I was saying before in the preamble, even though it's a typical chocolate with a biscuit one, there's something about Breakaways. So that's all it is, really. A bit thicker on top. But alright, yeah. Obviously, Andrew's not a massive fan of them, but we all have different tastes. It's just the way it goes sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's give it a go. What is the best chocolate biscuit available? I'll be stuck between Borders chocolate gingers and the M&S cookies at the minute. I do really like Borders chocolate gingers. They are very nice. I don't think I've had the M&S cookies. But biscuit bars, I would say generally, I think the pickup ones are really good. These are not biscuits, the biscuit bars. I think pickups are very nice. I think they've just got something, got like a massive, like there's two sort of biscuit top and bottom with a real thick layer of chocolate in the middle. And I think they're really, really high quality, those. The Leibniz ones Corey mentions are pretty good as well. I feel like a bit more of a normal biscuit, those ones. But for me, I do like Borders Dark. Actually, there's quite a lot of good ones. What's my favourite biscuit? I always like those kind of cookie ones, like you're saying, those ones with the M&S cookies. Those kind of ones are always, now like the Fox's ones and stuff like this, always good. Maybe they are Fox's ones. You were saying that Fox's make for M&S. But I think pickups for me just have something about them that I really quite like. I don't know. Just really interesting ones, those. Nice kind of biscuit bars for, for I've even got some here actually. They're not really a classic one. I just had them to hand just in case I needed them. But you can see there, these are really good biscuits, these ones. But they're not really the classic ones because I don't think they're quite new in the UK. I think they've been around elsewhere, but there you go, Yeah. You don't mind Breakaways, but wouldn't choose them. Do taste nice though, just not, yeah, they're perhaps not massively interesting, I know what you mean. Pickups are very good, yeah. Pickups are, they'll say they're quite relatively new in UK, aren't they? But they are very good, yes. Yes, pickups with the brown biscuit and the white chocolate. Yeah, yeah, exactly. They do so many different types as well, and they're all really, really strong, strong quality biscuits. Yeah, I must admit they are. I think they're some of my favourites, just generally. I mean, not got like a. I feel like the dark chocolate gingers are more elegant and a bit more of an X factor to them. But the pickup ones, I don't know, they're just a solid option, aren't they? They really are. All right, let's give this a go then. Let's Breakaway. Let's have a see. Let's see if it's as good as I remember. Did review them a few years back, of course, but there's something about them. There's just something about them. I think it's because they're like a proper biscuit almost in the middle. I don't know. It feels like it's got a good substance to it. So it's almost like having something like a chocolate digestive. It's just something a bit more. I think that's kind of what it is. I don't have an influence by the fact that it says it's got a digestive filling on the front on the wrapper, but I don't know. It just feels like it's a more of a solid biscuit. It's got like a texture to it as well, which is quite interesting. There's just something about it. I say the texture's quite oaty or wheaty. I'm not sure. There's just a good texture to the biscuit. It's like, as I say, a proper biscuit almost. It's a quality biscuit there. I do like that. It's like Andrew says, though, it's not as exciting as the others. Have got something about them that's a bit more, like the Club Chocolate Cream or the Gold has got its, sort of, as I say, caramel flavoured coating. The Breakaway doesn't really have that, so I feel like it loses out in some respects because it's a bit more plain, but it's just got it's got a good substance to it. It really does. I was about to say the pickup is a bit like a variation on the label. Yeah, it is a bit. I know what you mean. Made by Barton. Yeah, yes, it does make sense. Yeah. It's got that same sort of chocolate thickness like Corey was mentioning. It's just the chocolate in those two is good quality. Yeah, and pickups with a cup. You're right there, Corey. Yeah, well done. That's a good. They are amazing because it melts the biscuit and you got the solid chocolate on the inside. It's they are amazing. Those pickups. They are. I'm not gonna review these today because they're not really a classic. You know what I mean? They are now, I think, but they're not. They're a modern classic. But I feel like they're on another level of. They're kind of not the childhood lunchbox favourites. I don't think. Maybe for young people these days, maybe some of yourselves a bit younger than I am. Maybe they were part of your lunchbox experience at school and things. But I feel like they're relatively new. So I don't know. Maybe yeah, so I'm not sure. I was tempted to review them today, but I thought they didn't quite fit in the same selection, really. It's quite a wheaty biscuit, yes. You get that. It tastes a bit more of a sort of natural and complex than the taste. Yeah, it does. Yeah, you're right there, Andrew. I think that sums it up pretty well. There's something a bit about it. Yeah. And like, yeah, it says something about Breakaways. There is, that's for sure. I feel like it punches above its weight, basically. Again, I think it's probably, I feel like because... I feel like if it was some of the other ones... you would be talking a 3 out of 5 probably, but because the biscuit's just got something more about it, like Andrew and Corey have been mentioning as well, it's it definitely just comes across better than it actually is, as I say. Well, not better than it, but it just punches above its weight. So the sum's more than the result is more than the sum of its parts, basically. So while it's still probably not more than the others as far as the rating is concerned, I think it does more with what it's got, and as I say, the biscuit has something a bit more special about it. So for me, it's another 4 out of 5. So, well, a few of these have been 4s out of 5s. I think they've all just been solid. Yeah, as I say, solid entries in the biscuit, in the lunchbox biscuit market. So for sure, I feel like some are better than others. I think the Breakaway, for instance, I feel like there's less to dislike about the Breakaway as well. That's another thing, like sometimes with the Penguin, if I speak properly, the Penguin is like, I don't know, sometimes it's a bit too sickly and things, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's with the cream and stuff like that. Maybe maybe the club's not as consistent, with the thickness of the chocolate and stuff like that. So I don't know, the Breakaway just seems quite solid and really good. Although the Gold was pretty consistent actually. Although we did only open one, but you could kind of tell in a way, if you know what I mean. But yeah, interesting one. Interesting, yeah, interesting. What do you think? Maybe should I do a quick review of the pickup? What do you think is a bonus? A bonus for the pickup, what do you reckon? Let's do a bonus one, why not? I'll tell you what, we'll intersperse it with a joke from Penguin, shall we? How about that? Okay, here we go. So, I think I probably might have an idea what this one is. Why was the Penguin popular? Why was the Penguin popular? Alright, so, while you're considering that, we should do Penguin jokes every week, how about that? Let's give the... So we'll do a bit of a bonus review for the pickup. So there's various pickups. There's loads of different kinds. So 516 calories, 27 grams of fat, 17 of which are saturated with 1.7. And per 28 grams, approximately 1 biscuit, 1 bar, 144 calories, 7.6 grams of fat, 4.8 of which are saturates. Do we have a description? Milk chocolate bar, 31%, with a milk cream filling 13% between 2 crisp biscuits. So again, this is definitely one that needs to be dunked as well. I mean, a lot of biscuits are always better when dunked, but it doesn't need to be dunked actually. But if you do dunk it, you're talking a very much an experience on another level. Let's put it that way. You will, if only for a limited time, be literally in paradise when you have this dipped. Any of these pickups dipped into a hot cup of coffee or tea. They're literally amazing. You know. Amazing. Let's just look for the ingredients. Anything there? Okay. Anything interesting on here? I'll just pour stick to my nails at the moment. So 13% milk cream filling, 31% milk chocolate bar, palm fat, 1.1% milk powder. Okay. Nothing else. Has it got? Does it have palm oil in there? Can't see anything of interest. Milk powder 4.6%. Oh, there you go. Palm. Coconut fat in there as well. Stored in a cool, dry place away from heat. Okay. Imported from and distributed by United Kingdom. Balsam Limited. Oh, LLP. Okay. You think you've got the joke? All right. Let's have a look. Just because he was an ice guy. You could well be right there, Andrew. Yes. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it was similar. Let's see. Oh, yes, because he was an ice guy. There we go. Yes. You didn't look at that one online, did you? Well, nice guys are saying, isn't it? Yes. There we go. It sounded too specific there, but there we go. Yes, I'll take your word for that one. Yeah. I was going to say because he was top of the polls. I thought it was going to be. I think penguins are from the South Pole, aren't they? I'm not sure, but anyway. But there we go, yeah. But top of the polls was what I was going to say, but as I say, I think that's not technically correct. If you've heard that joke before, yeah, yes. Yeah, oh yes, it's one of those, isn't it? Well, you know, yeah. Good one there, though, Andrew. I didn't get that one, I must say. As I say, I was just top of the polls was the one I got for, which I think was actually quite good in my opinion. But as I say, just perhaps not accurate as far as actually the location is concerned. I like this one. What did the father buffalo say to the son buffalo after he left for school? Bison. Okay, right. Or bison. Okay, yeah. Dear me, dear me. Well, if there were penguin equivalent called bison bars or something like that, then I'm sure that joke would definitely make it. Honestly. Alright, yes, so turn that off. Is it? Yes. Let's give it a bit of an open then. You've done well with the jokes today, yourself and Jen. Good luck with working them out, as I say. I certainly didn't get them, even though cheeses they are, I didn't get them, must admit. Okay, so here we go, a nice pickup bar here. Got a bit of flourishes going on. So I'll say this one, if you dunk these ones, you are going to get a good out-of-body experience, I think you'll definitely say. But there you go, I mean, look at this, you can just look at it. Look at it. Just a massive, like Corey was saying with the Balsam, the Leibniz biscuits, that massive chunk of chocolate. I mean, it's just ridiculous, that size of chocolate on there. Maybe I don't need the other one now. So you can see it's kind of like a chocolate bar, well not a chocolate bar, but it's like a chocolate product with biscuit rather than biscuit with chocolate. It's just ridiculous. Didn't get the other jokes at first, I see. We still did well, still did good though. Oh. Now who would say I've been learning British jokes? I know, yes. Can't say you might, you know, yeah. Don't know if you're benefiting from them, Joe, but there you go. Oh. Can you never read those Turkish like fins from Poundland or the ones in the tin? You would have had a breakdown with that pack. I know, it was terrible, that packaging. It really was terrible, that. It really was awful. Absolutely awful, yes. I know, definitely was sore from the stash watch at the weekend, in the week. Terrible, just terrible packaging. There's so much empty space, it's ridiculous. Pretty much size of a chocolate bar. It's like, yeah, like a thin one, you definitely. I mean, it's just ridiculously big, isn't it? It has to be said. Let's give a bit of a measure then. This is why these ones are really good when dunked, because it softens a biscuit, but you can still got a massively solid chocolate bar. They are just a lovely experience. But I don't think this is like a fair playing field for this. Well, these are kind of on another level, these biscuits, to be honest with you. 8.2 centimetres in width, or in length, height. 1.3, so it's not of a great angle. And what do we do? Do we do the width? We might have done the width. 4 centimeters. There we go. As you can see just how thick it's just ridiculous, you know. So you snap them. And what's more, it's got like milk chocolate, white chocolate on the inside as well. I assume it's white chocolate. Anyway, is it labelled as white chocolate? Milk chocolate bar with a white cream filling. It's white cream. So milk chocolate 31% with white cream filling 1.3%, I think it is. So you can see there, so it's got so much going on with this one. I mean, these are just are on another level. It's not fair to the other ones, I don't think. 1.3%. Was it 13%? Oh, 13%, yeah. Milk chocolate bar 31% with a milk cream filling 13%. Okay. So I'll say, yes. A small one, yes. Yeah, but still definitely something that could be classed as a chocolate bar, so I know what you mean for sure. Yeah, no, you definitely, Joe. I think that's it, really. They're on another level, these. If you can't decide whether to have a biscuit or a chocolate bar, then this is you covered. It's almost subversive that like it shouldn't be happening. I know they are ridiculous, these, and you might easily overlook this product in the shops, thinking it's just a regular thing. But goodness me, these pickup bars really are good. Well, let's have a try. So I don't know if I've ever had this specific one. Maybe I have, but let's give it a go. I've reviewed a few of them in the past when I did a 4-way review one time, I think, of all of them, but let's give it a taste. Yeah, it is. Strangely enough, I think the milk cream filling takes away from it in my view. Actually, I think it's not quite as solid a chocolate as you otherwise would have got. I mean, it's still a lovely product though, but it does taste a bit more normal as a result of having that cream filling, because it does turn it back less from being more like chocolate into more like being just a regular biscuit product. So having bigged it up massively, I do think this is perhaps one of the weaker ones, really. Now they did like a white chocolate one. I think it was like a cocoa biscuit, like Andrew was saying before, with a white chocolate centre, which was fantastic on another level as well. But I'll say this one, I think because it's actually got a cream centre, I think it is making it a bit more mundane. There you go, Andrew's saying as well, I'd rather have just the milk or white chocolate inside instead of this. There you go, exactly. So it is a bit more, I was kind of touting it up as if it was on another level than the other ones, but actually it is more on a similar level because of that. And for those reasons Andrew was just saying, it's just like a bit too, it's a bit too normal, this one. Yeah, so it is quite nice still. It is nice, and you still get a bit of chocolate, but you're getting a lot of the cream, and it makes it softer in the middle and more like a regular biscuit like the others we've been having. And it tastes a bit creamy as well. I think when don't know, these ones do still work very well, or they will do, because they will soften the biscuit, but again, it's just a bit too, it's a bit less about what this product is about, which is that really thick chocolate. So, and it doesn't really, you don't really get much of the chocolate taste either. So having bigged it up massively, this is actually one of the weaker ones. If you get one of the normal ones, you will be on another planet with them. They're so nice, but you know, well, not another planet, another level. But you know, they are very nice. But this one, as I say, is a bit more mundane. Really, you don't get really the benefit of the chocolate because the cream takes over, and it's a bit soft and a bit, you know, just a bit of a creamy taste, really. So I don't think it really tastes particularly better than the cream from some of the others. It's a bit flavourless as well. You know, it's just like a cream flavour basically. So I don't know, it's still quite thick, it's still quite substantial and everything, but I feel like it's just, yeah, I don't know, yeah, I feel like it's a bit more on the level of like the penguin, really. I feel like the flavours just don't really pop out as much, you know. So unfortunately, having bigged it all up like I did do, unfortunately it's quite good that we reviewed it in the end, actually, because that's revealed that it is one to perhaps avoid of these range, because all the others, as I say, with the big thick chocolate centres are just that. It's literally a biscuit with a thick chocolate middle. But like Andrew says, just rather have the milk or white chocolate inside instead of this, and he was spot on there, really. So I think for me, because of that reason, because it just tastes a bit mundane as a result of that, doesn't really have anything over the other ones. It just tastes a bit more mundane. It's still nice and everything, but as I say, it just tastes a bit like you don't really get much of the chocolate taste. The biscuit's okay, but the biscuit's there to accompany the chocolate middle, right? You know, really. And because the chocolate middle isn't really fully chocolate, it's more of a cream middle. It's just a bit more, yeah, it just doesn't quite pop as much as the other, so it's a bit disappointing. So as I say, you just don't, it's not really that of an interesting flavour. So 3.5 out of 5, basically. A bit disappointing. Still nice, but yeah, it's similar problems to the penguin, basically. But if you do have one with just a solid chocolate middle, you're talking a 4.5 or 5, really. It is. I would definitely recommend those, and I feel a bit bad that I bigged it up that much and then got a disappointing one. But but there we go. Interesting though. Good to review that one, because otherwise I think it was a foregone conclusion that they were going to be better. And it was. I felt like it was a bit out of place to review it, but actually I think it was the right place to review it, and it turned out okay in the end. So a bit of serendipity there, just about. Right then, guys. Well, should we do one last joke then, just to finish off? Why not? Go on. Susie's got us into it. There we go. All right. Just checking we didn't have this one before. Okay. How does a penguin build its house? How does a penguin build its house? What do you think? Any ideas? I have no clue. How does a penguin build it? With difficulty, I think you'd say. Oh, here we go. Honestly, Andrew's at it again. Here we go. You need to work at the company as well. You and Jen. How does a penguin build its house? Well, I think you're probably right, Andrew. That sounds. If you're not right, it's a good answer. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. It glues it together. He glues it together. There we go. Well done, Andrew. Well done. Yes. I got there quick, so you know. Yeah, no. Well, I was. Yeah, sorry, Andrew. I felt a bit bad about having said that before. I didn't really think you had done. I just thought you got it so well, and you worded it so well. But yeah, Well done, Andrew. Well done. Yes, well done. Oh dear. Yeah. No, good stuff, Andrew. Well done indeed. Well done. But yeah, sorry about that. I felt a bit bad about that. I didn't really think you did that. I was just impressed with how well you got it. That's all. Sorry about that. But yeah, well done indeed. Well, some good joke getting there, to be said. Joe's certainly impressed. I wonder how many jokes serve on these and how many recite. Well, this is it. They probably, yeah, I don't know. They probably don't have millions. Let's put it that way. But yeah, we didn't get any repeats in the same box. I don't think so. That's not too bad. I imagine that's one of the criteria, isn't it? Even then, I don't know. Yeah. Don't think I had any repeats anyway. Yeah, I don't think we have. So it's not too bad. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Although I wouldn't put it past it being possible. Oh dear. Yeah, they've probably got enough to make it relatively unlikely you get a repeat, but you know. Wagon Wheels didn't make it into the British lunchboxes. Well, I was considering that, Jen. I was considering it. I was considering it, basically. But I reviewed them relatively recently, the Wagon Wheels, so I kind of thought, you know, I couldn't really do it. And then, for me, I don't know, they were kind of, I had to draw the line somewhere, basically. But I did review them well, it was probably about a year and a half ago now, but yeah. So I don't know, I kind of felt, you know, yeah, I don't know. I had to draw the line somewhere, unfortunately, and that's why I drew. Why are you a big fan of Wagon Wheels, Jen? I'm not a massive fan of them because I feel like they're just a poor man's tea cake or a poor person's tea cake. Like the Tunnock's tea cakes, really, which I've reviewed recently as well, which I'm going to not publish yet, but I feel they're the ones for me. That's where it's at, a tea cake base. And I was considering putting them in as well, but again, I had to draw a line somewhere, so I just went for the definitive classics. But but you are right, the Wagon Wheel is a classic for some as well, so it is one I could have definitely included. Yeah. You've never had them not glued to be after all. Ah, okay, right, okay. Yeah. I'm not a massive fan myself. I feel like they've got the worst aspects of the tea cake, which is the biscuit part, and not much of anything else, not much filling. Whereas the tea cake itself is all the marshmallow and a little bit of biscuit, and just works. And it's just a lovely thing, the tea cake. But I think the Wagon Wheel for me it's basically the same thing, but just done in a different way. Just more biscuit with a bit of marshmallow between the biscuits and covered in chocolate. Whereas the tea cake is like just a massive dome of marshmallow covered in a thin layer of chocolate with a little biscuit base, and just works really well. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah. But yes, yeah, I didn't review those ones, unfortunately. But yeah, as I say, I didn't put them as part of this list, but have reviewed them, and yeah, I'm sure I've published them. But as I say, the tea cake ones are coming soon, so you can see what I'm on about them when I publish that. Hopefully this week, actually. I'll put that up the list, I think, since we spoke about it. Right, well, there we go, guys. There we go. Yes. How about that then? Hope you enjoyed that. It's been good to see you all. Good chat as well today. Really nice to see you all. Good turnout. As I say, it's great to see you all doing well and enjoying the British weather. Although Joe sure gets that kind of weather all the time. Yes, nice to chat to you all. Great to show as well. Oh, thanks so much, Jow. Thanks so much. Oh, it's very nice of you to say. Great to chat to you as well, Jow. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, I see, yes. And it's, oh, yes. Oh, yes, you're back. Yeah, sorry, Corey. Yeah, just finished off. Just finished off. But yeah, but it's great to chat to you before, though. You did catch most of it. You did catch most of it. So it's really great to, yeah, really great to chat to you. And good to see you, Corey. Great to see you, as I say, every week as well. Really good to see people coming back. Really nice. Oh, take care, Andrew. Have a good one. Yeah. Good to see you too, Corey. Really is good to see you again. Hope you're having a good weekend. And make the most of the weather while it lasts, although I think you said it's raining outside, actually. Yeah, I think it's gone. Not often in the south. Ah, okay, all right. Okay, yeah, I always say that you've got great weather. Maybe it's not quite as yeah, as great as I imagine it being. But I'm sure you still have good days. I'm sure you still have good days. All right, well, take care, guys. I say really thanks so much for your support. Please hit that like button if you've not done so already. And yeah, thanks so much. Great to chat to you all. Great to see you, Joe. Great to see you, Corey, Andrew, Jen, Susie as well. And Noz as well from earlier before. Great to see you again. Been a long time, you and Susie. Great to see you both back. Really is great to see you both. I hope I've not forgotten anyone. I don't think I have. I always worry that I have done. Don't think I did do, though. But if I did, I do apologise. But really is great to see you all. Thanks so much again for all your support. And I'll see you next time. Oh, thanks, Sin. Thanks, Joe. Oh, take care, everyone. Have a good weekend. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now. See ya. Oh, yes. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.